You're not alone. Not in the sleepless nights, not in the tight chest before meetings, not in the spiral of thoughts you can't seem to turn off. But here's what might surprise you. This problem isn't modern, and it isn't new. 2,000 years ago, one man wrote letters from exile, under threat of death, facing betrayal, madness, and political collapse. And yet his mind remained unshaken. That man was Lucius Aeneas Seneca. And what he said about anxiety? It's not gentle, it's not comforting, but it might just free you. Let's see what he'd say about your anxiety, and why his words cut deeper than any therapist ever could. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. That's not just a quote. That's a diagnosis. Anxiety is the art of dying 1,000 times, without ever being touched. You imagine disaster. You rehearse pain. You live the event before it happens. And often, it never does. Seneca would say, you're addicted to pre-suffering. Your mind is staging tragedies that don't exist. And every time you believe one of them, you strengthen the lie. He doesn't say, don't feel it. He says, stop feeding it. Expecting is the greatest impediment to living. Seneca. You're anxious because you expect life to go right. You expect people to behave. You expect your job to be stable. You expect your body to work perfectly. And when reality doesn't match your script, you panic. Seneca would laugh. He'd say, fortune doesn't owe you symmetry. Your comfort was never guaranteed. So why are you shocked when the universe reminds you? You don't need everything to go right. You need to train for when it goes wrong. He suffers the most who anticipates suffering. Your anxiety lives in a place you're not even in, the future. You try to control what hasn't happened. You strategize for losses that haven't occurred. You write endings for stories that haven't even begun. Seneca's solution? Come back. Return to this breath, this task, this moment. The Stoic is not careless. He prepares, but he doesn't obsess. You want peace? Then stop living in places you can't touch. You think your fear is a signal, that it must mean something is wrong. But Seneca disagrees. Where fear is, happiness is not. Your anxiety is not a compass, it's a cage. And every time you let it dictate your behavior, it gets stronger. You stay home, you cancel plans, you delay decisions, and now the fear owns you. The Stoics believe that emotion follows action. You act strong, then strength comes. You walk into the storm, then fear dies. You want to kill your anxiety? Starve it of obedience. There are more things likely to frighten us than to crush us. Read that again. Anxiety isn't about what is, it's about what might be. But look around. Right now, you're breathing, you're functioning. You've survived everything so far. Seneca says, don't just count your dangers, count your survival. Your anxiety is real, but your victories are too. Here's the truth Seneca would leave you with. And yes, it's brutal. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. You fear pain like your life is fragile, but you waste your time like you'll live forever. He'd say this plainly, you're not anxious, you're untrained. And life, brutal, random, beautiful life, is your gym. So stop asking the world to be softer, and start making your mind stronger. That's not just stoicism, that's freedom.